everyone. Today we are going to start a new lesson, that is metals and non-metals. First we will see that early humans used stone. That was for hunting purpose, for so many things they used stone. So that was the Stone Age. After that they started using wood. They sharpened the wood and the sticks and all, and they used for hunting and all and so on. After that they discovered copper. So copper was the first metal which was discovered, and copper was a strong metal. It doesn't break easily. So they used so many weapons. They made so many weapons using copper. So that age was called Chalcolithic period. Okay, Chalco means copper. After that they discovered iron, which was again much more stronger than copper, and like this so many metals like gold, silver, so many metals were discovered. Now gold, silver and copper are known as the native metals because they are they occur naturally and are the relatively in the purest form. They naturally occurred in a relatively pure form. Most of the things in our surrounding are made up of metals and non-metals. If you will see the utensils in your kitchen, the frying pan, the kadhai, the so many things, and the handles also of the frying pan, and most of the things like your study table, they are made up of either wood or iron or aluminium. Your phone, your laptops which you are using just now, which you are using to view this video. So the the matter of fact is that all the things in our surrounding are made up of metals and non-metals. So now the question is, how would we distinguish a metal and a non-metal? The first thing comes in our mind is appearance. By looking at it, we can differentiate. So to study this, let's study to see this, to differentiate it, let's study the physical property of metals and non-metals. You must have observed that you yourself or your mother are using so many ornaments made up of gold and silver. So how is the appearance? Do they shine? Of course yes. They glitter. So they have a luster. They are luster in nature. They have the lustrous property. Okay, they shine. Even aluminium also shines. So we can say that metals are lustrous in nature. Metals have metallic luster. Okay, so metals are luster, or you can say metals are lustrous. Now let's move on to your kitchen. If you drop any metal utensils, what will happen? Does it break? Obviously no. Why? Because metals are hard in nature. They are strong. They are solid. However, hardness varies from metals to metal. Okay. Because, why I am saying like this? Because sodium, potassium and lead, they are called soft metals. You will be surprised to know that sodium and potassium, you can cut them using a knife also. They are so soft. So that's why I said that hardness varies from metals to metal. Now you might be familiar with the silver foil used for decorating the sweets. You must be familiar with aluminium foil also, used for wrapping food items. Like suppose if you hammer the metals like gold or zinc or copper, what will happen? If you hammer these things, they will be drawn into thin sheets. So the amazing property of the metal to be drawn into thin sheet is called malleability. Means metals are malleable in nature. Have you ever seen copper wires? Have you ever seen gold thin wires? So the metals have the property to be drawn into thin wires. So we can say the ability of the metal to be drawn into thin wires is called ductility. Means metals are ductile in nature. Do you know a single gram of gold can be drawn into very thin long wire? A single gram, how much long? Can you imagine? A single gram of gold can be drawn into 2 kilometer long wire. Isn't it amazing? Now the next property, we will switch off to next property. When you will go to your kitchen, you see the utensils. So those metal utensils are used for cooking. What type of energy, which energy is used for cooking? Definitely heat energy. So here what we see, that heat is transferred on the vessel throughout the vessel. The heat is transferred. The even distribution of heat enhances the process of cooking. So we can say that metal is a good conductor of heat. Okay. Now can you give me two best conductor of heat? The two best conductor of heat are copper and silver. Copper and silver are the best conductor of heat. The two poor conductor of heat are lead and mercury. Lead and mercury are the poor conductor of heat. Electric wires are made up of metals. Why? Because they are good conductor of electricity. The electric wires are coated with some rubber-like material. This coating, why this coating is done? This coating acts as an insulator which protects us from being electrocuted. Okay. If by chance or if by mistake we touch it. So again we can say that metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. The things made up of metals produce a ringing sound when struck hard with any hard substance. It makes a ringing sound. So can you give some example? Can you think of some example? Yes. School bells, church bells and the bells in temple. So we can say that metals are sonorous, means they produce ringing sound. So these are the metals which these are the properties of the metals. One thing, when we are talking about metals, mercury is a metal, is the only metal which is in liquid state at room temperature. At room temperature, mercury is in liquid state. Now let's talk about the physical properties of non-metal. When we talk about the physical property, what can be the physical properties of non-metal? It will be completely opposite to metals. Like when we talk about copper, iodine or sulfur, they are non-metals. They do not luster. They don't have the lustrous property. They have a very dull appearance. Okay. So first is they are They do not luster, means they do not shine. Second, metals are hard, but non-metals are brittle. Non-metals are brittle. Brittle means they break easily. If they are brittle, definitely they won't be having the property of malleability and ductility, because when we hammer a non-metal, it will not be drawn into thin wires or thin sheets. Instead, they will be turned into powder form. So, they are not malleable and they are not ductile. They are not ductile. Next, can you touch a metal pan without a handle? No, perhaps not, because you will burn your hand. Okay, so the handle is made up of non-metal. Either the handles are made up of rubber coating will be there, or plastic coating will be there, or wooden coating will be there. So we can say that non-metals are poor conductor of heat and electricity. Sixth one, when you drop any non-metal, they don't produce any ringing sound, means they are non-sonorous. So these are the physical properties, physical appearance of metals and non-metals. Now, one question. Is it so simple? Is it that easy to distinguish the metals and non-metals on the basis of physical properties only? One more thing I must tell you, that when we are talking about metals and non-metals, metals and non-metals are in solid state and they are in gaseous state also. The gases like oxygen and hydrogen, etc., are non-metals. Okay, but the one thing is, like, what do you think about bromine? Bromine is a non-metal, but bromine is a liquid. Bromine is in liquid state at room temperature, like mercury. So it's not that simple to distinguish the metals and non-metals on the basis of physical property. There are many exceptions in metals and non-metals. Let's discuss that. So, the exceptions, when we talk about mercury and when we talk about bromine. Mercury is in liquid state at room temperature. Mercury is a metal. Bromine is a non-metal, but it is also in a liquid state at room temperature. So, how can we distinguish mercury and bromine? These two are exceptions. So, we can say that all metals are solid except mercury. Okay. Here we can say all metals are either solid or gaseous except bromine. We can say like this. Next, when we are talking about iodine, what is the appearance of iodine? Iodine is luster, means it shines, which is the property of metal. Okay, so it's exception. Now we will talk about um, carbon. Carbon is a non-metal. Okay, carbon is a non-metal. But what about the allotropes of carbon? Diamond and graphite. Diamond and graphite are the allotropes of carbon. Diamond has come from carbon only, and graphite also is the form of carbon. Here we said that non-metals are brittle, but when we talk about diamond, diamond is the hardest substance. Diamond is the hardest substance. Okay, so the melting point and boiling point of this diamond is very high. Okay, so again this is one exception. Next, in metals, most of the metals have high melting point. This carbon I must write here, okay, under non-metal. Diamond and graphite. Here, this is the hardest substance whose have got high melting point. Here, most of the metals have high melting point, but when we talk about gallium and cesium, these are the two metals. There is one amazing fact about it. These are the two metals, when you will hold them in your hand, they will start melting. Both have got very low melting point and boiling point. So these are the few exceptions in melting and boiling point. Okay, so we will see another property through which we will in our next video, through which we can distinguish metals and non-metals. So in our next video we will discuss about the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Thank you.